Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Digital Goats Academy. It is 9:03 p.m. Eastern, April 4th, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, the Digital Goat. And as always, guys, welcome to Digital Goat Academy, where we show you guys how to pretty much navigate through the trading market, or, just another conversation piece for, already my experienced traders out there. The topic today that I wanted to talk about is the US dollar. Now, I know there's been a lot of changes that's been going on in the market. If you guys have been, well, the economy, if you guys have been paying attention, there's been a lot of uncertainty on what the state of the dollar is going to be. Now, there's been a lot of conversation pieces when it comes to, is the dollar worthless or not? I'm here to tell you, I've already believed that the dollar was worthless, but now other countries are pretty much saying the same thing, as well as what we probably have already known as like Americans. But does that mean that the dollar is going away? I don't think, not necessarily, guys. um I can go into my own sentiment, but it's just until we get more clarification on what these countries are stating, what they mean by that. But I don't think it's not that much of a scare factor. So we've seen news such as, let me see if I can pull it up, guys. I'm gonna switch my screen real quick. And I'm gonna keep this very short. As always, I forgot to say, if you're viewing my channel, if you guys find value in my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate that. We are a growing community. So I have seen that we have been growing, and I hope you guys have already been finding value. And not to mention, if you guys are traders, independent traders, have your own community. I have my own community currently. You guys just have to reach out to me, whether it's my one of my social networks, or you guys can message me. I think you can message people directly on YouTube. I never got a message directly on YouTube. But either way, find whatever access you guys can through my YouTube channel to reach out to me with any one of my platforms, and you can join it, guys. It's open to everybody. But anyway, let me switch my screen and go to the internet, because I want to show you guys one. I'm an advocate for Bloomberg. So there was a gentleman who I've been following. His name is Neil Dutta. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right, but Neil, why am I not switching this over? Oh, because it's up there. Hold on, guys. All right. So obviously you see I have the Trump news that was going on, right? But maybe if I just type in state of the dollar, right? State of. Now, some of those outlets that I was getting, they were just screenshots. They were just screenshots of other countries pretty much saying that they're not dealing with the US dollar. So I know you guys probably saw that statement where Russia, India, I believe South America, I mean, not South America. No, it might have been South America too. South Africa, they were all joining together to create their own independent currency outside of the United States. Now, that's only those countries we've heard of. We still have other countries that's out there, just such as Germany. I mean, not Germany, all of Europe. I mean, you can count Germany, but all of Europe, all of United Kingdom, Australia, other neighboring countries that are our allies, guys. So they haven't made a move to move away from the dollar. So for me, just as being curious and seeing like what's going on in the economy now, I'm wondering what's that going to mean. I don't necessarily think that it's going to mean, oh man, that's just about to dethrone the dollar if we have these other countries still supporting the US dollar. But that's just my take on it, guys. But I want to show you like some of these outlets if I can find it. State of China, Russia. Well, either way, you guys can pull up your own news articles. Like I said, I was finding this on I saw this through social media, actually. So the fact that, well, Bloomberg obviously is going to have this type of information. But like I said, you saw the headlines: China's yuan replaces dollars, most traded currency in Russia. That's in Russia. That's not over here. I've never heard of anybody trading the China's yuan. Matter of fact, when I was first introduced to trading, it was suggested that I don't trade this currency. Now, we'll see how that plays out in the economy, guys. That's just plain and simple. We'll see how that plays out in the economy. But you'll find news outlets where some of these countries are stating that they're getting away from the US dollar. Obviously, other countries' currencies are traded as well, guys, but I don't think that spells disaster for us. I think that's just more like hysteria and propaganda at its best, because until we see some of our allied, like, I'm American, I mean, I'm in America, so in my opinion, until we see some of our allied countries move away from our currency, I don't really think it's not a big thing to fear right now. But I do think that this will have a reaction in the market. So with the state of the dollar, it's kind of unclear right now on what it's going to do. But I'll give you guys, based off of technicals, what I think the dollar may be doing currently. Now, I saw a move that I like after the market reset, and we saw that the dollar actually made an aggressive move down this morning, super aggressive. But I don't even think that had anything to do with like Trump. I just think that had everything to do with what the data that was being pushed up in the market already. So if you guys can see right now, the dollar has pushed down. I drew up a zone, this black line. Now I'm gonna go down to a smaller time frame. I drew up a zone specifically because I was looking at this market, and I was like, oh well, on the opposite side, we have consolidation there. So the fact that we did a fake out, pushed up. I wonder if this is our move back to consolidation to continue back up, or are we going to just blow through this consolidation on this side? This is the reason why I have this boxed up zone right here. And you can see the dollar hit the bottom of this consolidation zone. You see, even with these wicks, this is probably like the lowest point the market went, unless, on another broker looks different. So with us looking at that, and there was a gap here that the market, came back to. I'm wondering if the market was more so attracted to this gap over here. Now, I had this gap here prior to that, and we have a gap here. Both the market on the buying side, it actually collected that gap. But I'm wondering, like, on the selling side, or the return back to the market, are we at this level for the market to actually start shooting up? I do believe that the dollar is still going to push up, even if we head down to these levels down here, to the support structure. The lowest point that I believe that it will travel is back to this area, with the possibility of it going just like a little bit lower. I have a theory behind that, but that'll be for like another day that I actually discuss my theory behind this. So I can see the dollar pushing down, but not in the same way where people are still nervous about like a recession. I'm still I'm still the one that's thinking that we're not in a recession, guys. So I'm gonna stand by that. Now we'll see, obviously, if the market is saying that we're into a recession, because by the time we hit these certain levels, let's actually look at it on the monthly real quick. The last time we were in a recession was 2008. Okay, we started getting into it in 2004, 2003, really, is when pretty much it took, yeah, okay. So in 2003, we were at 93, 94 cents, right? So for me to even believe that we have a possibility of being driven into a recession, even though it may look like the dollar is devaluing, I would have to see numbers as low as this for me to be like, okay, yeah. And I'm sure most people would probably say, well, that's kind of too late when you could have spotted like all the way up here. But that's just for me or my confirmation. I don't, just off of the movement of the dollar, I don't think that's going to drive us into a recession, because literally right here is when we were in a recession. You probably, if you were a trader, probably knew in 2003, but you probably didn't feel the effects until like that beginning of 2004, where it was like the market literally was driven down there. So until I see those close or heading to those numbers, with the possibility, like once we get like down here, then obviously I would have to accept that we're probably heading to those numbers. And we're still above like the 2003 mark. So 2003, that was 98, which I do think that there's a possibility of the market coming back to 98, but that's like the lowest I think that the dollar may be retracing back based off of like the Fed rate hikes, because their goal was to hike up the market in order to stabilize the market by forcing it down, but not forcing it down so drastically. That's why the rate hikes are being instituted in it, guys. So me personally, I'm still bullish on the dollar. You know, it's still, I do believe that it'll hit this support level, but unless it's just going to respect like this consolidation zone, which is a previous high, I can see the dollar showing signs of getting bullish right here. This is an 8 hour, but let's look at it. Let's scale down. Okay, so right here, if you look, the dollar already started like making moves up. And it created a gap right here. Clearly, since we're so close to it, it's probably going to want to come and get that gap, right? We'll just have to see what how the market reacts within, you know, the next couple of hours. But for me, these are all bullish signs to me, at least at this point. Even if we're just looking at it on a 15-minute time frame, I can already establish that that right there is at least a bullish pattern. You know what I'm saying? This is where you get into the technicals of what the market is doing, right? So we know that the reversal or the movements tend to happen on the smaller time frame, right? Right here, this whole pattern right here is your first indication that the market may possibly be bullish right here. Now, this is not a class for like patterns today. I'm just highlighting that because it just makes it easier to agree that, okay, right now that's a morning star, right? That's a bullish pattern. So if price continues to move up, we're not surprised on, wow, price got bullish from here. Right now, to me, this is retesting. Could retest as low as like in between here, but right now it's retesting this candle. And we'll see if like the next candle gets bullish, possibly push down, next candle gets bullish. This is just on a 15-minute time frame. This is stuff that I do, you know, because I want to see what the market is overall doing based off of those smaller time frames. I'm not looking at it. Well, I am looking at it for an entry, but it's normally by my zones. When this market closed at 5 o'clock, it pushed down, right? What's it? This market? No, I'm thinking of like another currency pair. But at the same time, the dollar reacted in the same way. It pushed down, actually creating some type of support here, right? So the fact that we have potential bullish moves because we have a pattern right here, the market is showing signs that at least on the 15-minute, it's probably going to get bullish. But let me look at the MACD real quick. See what the MACD is showing. I think I looked at it earlier. Yeah, so this blue line being above this orange line, that's saying that the market is trying to be bullish, but that happened, the cross where the market switched was at this zone. So that was like around 8:30, and you see how the market crossed right here, guys. So that signified that, okay, as long as this blue line remains here, even within this time frame, that the market is going to potentially be bullish, right? So as it starts continuing to move up, and you see how each time this blue line was above, this market was showing green, and then every time it was below this orange line, it was red, pretty much saying that it's selling. In this scenario, saying that it's buying. Right now is just consolidating, but like we saw, it crossed that threshold, which, you know, pretty much showed us this morning star pattern. So as long as it continues to maintain that and doesn't like cross again, which it could if it's still consolidating, but once the market actually makes its breakout, you should see again the blue line above the orange, you know, still signifying that this market is bullish. And like I said, because we have that gap right there, I'm at least looking for this market to cover the gap, which if the dollar gets bullish, that's to start making a couple of other pairs bearish. So I am looking at a sell for Euro USD. Let me look at it right now. See if we were selling. So yeah, you see how it kind of looks opposite opposite of the dollar, like, well, like what the dollar is doing, but like the opposite way. Obviously because USD is at the bottom. So I am looking for, just like how we were looking at the dollar again. This is, if we were to invert this, this would be a bullish pattern, but this is a bearish pattern. This is a evening star, even within the 15-minute time frame. If I just look at it, let me see. So yeah, I can see the market retesting up here. If it's going to retest this candle, it's going to retest this candle. And we're looking at somewhere in this zone. That's like a low entry. Just depends on where the momentum is at. Oh wow, that's a previous low too. I didn't even see that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Euro USD, with the possibility of it, touching these highs in order to come down. But like I said, we kind of got that clear indication on the MACD, like what the dollar is trying to do. So even with like Euro USD, you see how right now it's bullish on like the 1 minute, but let's look at the 15-minute, like how we saw the dollar. You see how on the 15-minute now for the MACD, what is it? The orange is above the blue, and at 8:15 it crossed. So pretty much this is when it made its selling move. Are y'all seeing that? It's pretty much the same thing of what we were looking at with the dollar, but it's doing like the opposite. So I mean, I don't think we have any major news coming on. If it maintains like, above this blue line, we're selling. We're pushing this market down up until like probably like London or wherever some major news comes out. So definitely looking at that to make its move. That could just be like a retest all the way back down here, but we'll see. I'm not sure if we're in the reversal stage yet, but it's NFP week, so nothing is really concrete. Everything seems to be like based off of price action. I know we had that news from Finland that drove a lot of European and British pairs up. So just be careful out there, man. But that's just my take on the dollar. I didn't want to go that deep into it, guys. I just wanted to give you guys my premise. I'm still bullish on the dollar. I have zones that I expect the dollar to retest, but again, I'm gonna play what price action is showing me. Let me see who's all on here. Oh, Lee, that's what's up. That's what's up. So that's it for today, guys. Man, I appreciate everybody that's been jumping on. Again, be careful with some of these dollar pairs. Actually, let me look at oil real quick. Is oil still doing what I'm looking? I'm looking for oil to come up, but I'm also looking for oil to make its way down when it decides to. That gap was just ridiculous if you guys saw that. So that's also another thing with all this new data that's being poured into the market. Everything's uncertain. You can only just play what price action is showing you and what these market sessions are showing you guys. So be careful. I will see you guys tomorrow live Wednesday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time frame for Digital Wednesdays, guys. I'm the Digital GOAT. And as always, guys, I will see you guys at the top because in 2023, we're taking everybody to the top with us. Y'all have a good night.